So let's talk about the economic situation in the United States of America. Let's set the stage. All right, let's set the stage. Okay, so gas prices, $6 a goddamn gallon. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't drive a car. I work from home. But that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about working from home. A 2-year, 50 million person experiment in changing how we work. This is from the New York Times. The office was never one size fits all. It was one size fits some, with the expectation that everyone else would squeeze in. There you go. That's a good summary. So I just want to say, first of all, there's a goddamn deadly pandemic. A virus that is still killing thousands of people every day, infecting tens of thousands of people every day. Why are we going to the office? And by we, I mean other people, because I don't do that. I work from home. So not only that, we're still in the pandemic. I know people want to pretend like, oh yeah, if we just pretend the pandemic's over, then I mean, right? They're dumb as hell. Also, again, we're in an economic fallout right now with oil and gasoline prices at a record high. Maybe we should have invested in energy infrastructure like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, but whatever, we're dealing with those consequences. And so we're like, society's trying to force people back to the office while gas is like $6 a gallon or something. I don't know. I don't drive a car. And also it's just a waste of time. Like, a commute is a waste of time. Renting office buildings is a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of money. And it's just, I don't know. But anyway, this is, New York Times is talking about this a little bit, so I'm going to springboard. Kristen Egziaber was all jitters just before the pandemic, awaiting news of possible raise until her manager came back dejected from his meeting with the higher-ups. I was presenting the case for you, he told her, and people were like, we don't really know, Kristen. We only know her work. What? Sure, her work. What else could be relevant to performance review? But this was exactly what had always irked Miss Egziaber about her office, where she served as a project manager for a Texas food chain. No matter her productivity, her colleagues seemed to care primarily about chit-chat. And what'd you do last weekend? Where'd you get that purse? Miss Egziaber, who is black, felt that her white coworkers were fixated on who was jostling for entry in their in-group. So, yeah, that's a big fucking problem, is like work in a lot of capacities, right? It's not about who does the best job. It's about who's fun to be around. And it's also, again, it's a way to manage people more effectively. Like, if someone's a little weird, and weird could just, it doesn't even, they don't even need to be weird. It just means you could be the weird one. But if someone's a little different, or they're not fitting in socially in the exact right way, it allows you to more easily discriminate against them. And again, having people in one office building also, it's weird. I don't know. Like, I don't want to be around people. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm autistic, but like, I'm not interested in that. So and it's like, why to work somewhere? Why do you have to be not only good at the job, but then you have to be like, you have to know all these secret social cheat codes. Like, you have to be able to like, oh, this person scratched their left eyelid, so that means I'm able to interject with a joke that could be well performed, and then maybe I'll get a raise. Like, what why like, I never understood, like, why are jobs, why do they have like a social component to that? Why is that? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's one problem for me. What does all that matter for my pay? She wondered. If we're being real, I don't care what you did last weekend. Remote work brought a reprieve. Several months into being sent to work from home, Miss got a promotion and an 11% raise. If I'd continued going to the office, she added, there might have been some excuse around likability. When one of America's earliest open-plan offices debuted in Racine, Wisconsin in 1939, women made up less than one-third of the country's labor force. The design of that early office, not so different from the ones that modern workers experience, fit the need of a particular employee, someone who could stay late because he didn't have to rush home to make dinner for his children, someone pleased to cross paths with the boss because it meant time to talk golf. Jesus, like Mad Men style. Like, I just can't with this shit. The office, in other words, was never one size fit all. It was one size fits some, with the expectation that everyone else would squeeze in. Office banter, for example, might have been a small annoyance for some segment of workers, but for many others, it amplified a sense that they didn't belong. Yeah. So again, you can read the rest of this, but I just want to springboard off of it. I read a little bit of this before, and they interview some decent people. But I want to talk about the concept of the fact that why, like, office buildings, like, again, you buy a building that could be used for housing, right? Like, it could be a house for homeless people, but instead it's an empty office building, wasting your air conditioning money, right? You go there, like, are people really more productive in an office? Like, I figure, like, okay, what is the real advantage of being in an office, right? Well, maybe, yes, some people are more productive together. Like, when you get, like, 5 guys in the room and they're all like, high on drugs and they're, like, trying to do something cool, right? But then, why don't you just go over, like, each other's houses? Like, what, like, make it, like, a play date or something. Why do you need an office building, right? Because most of the time, office buildings are just going to be distracting, right? They're just going to be distracting, right? And the only advantage is that, oh, well, we have some space for people to get together and have some brainstorming session. You can just do that at someone's house, right? You can do that over a fucking, like, Zoom call. You can do that on, like, Discord, It's just, like, I like all the benefits of office buildings. I don't buy any of them. And again, we're in this, like, situation where, like, also, what does an office building require? You to buy a car. You need to drive to the office. So then you need a car, right? And again, there's this whole car society, the car-based economy that we live in, where everywhere and everything in society revolves around the idea that you need to drive there is a problem. And especially we're experiencing, like, gas is up, like, 700% for the average American. Like, that shit was, like, $1 2 years ago, and now it's like $5 to $6. Some places I've seen like $7. I don't drive a car, so I don't. I'm going to be honest. I'm unplugged from that. I'm just seeing screenshots online. But again, I don't understand this office thing. And again, we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Like, you'd think this is the time where we restructure our society to be, a little less cringy. Like, this is the time where people are stuck inside all day. They're thinking about how society is structured, what we need, what we don't need, what we could do better, what we could do worse. In my opinion, abolish offices, abolish cars, and abolish offices. Those are my 2 big things. Why do I need to drive somewhere to do something I can do at home? Why do I need to spend my gas money? Is like, again, if it's one thing, if your commute is covered by your employer, if they're paying for your time to drive there and they're paying for the fuel, but you have to buy a car, destroy your own car, like, with using it, buying your own gasoline, which cuts into your pay, just to go to an office building to do something you could do at home. I don't know about that. That's just, I don't buy it. And as someone who's, on the spectrum, so I like the idea of going to work and being around people, not a fan. Like, I mean, like, think about it. Like, think about all the people that just don't want to be around other fucking weirdos all the time. I had a fucking difficult enough time with that shit in fucking school. I don't want to go to the office and be around a bunch of fucking morons that are, like, fucking judging me and talking about golf. I don't fucking play golf, motherfucker. What the fuck do you think I am? What do you think, I'm a golf player? I don't play fucking golf. I don't know what that, like, I don't know, man. Like, if you want the office experience, watch Mad Men. And if not, then, you're a normal person. But anyway, fuck the office. That's all I wanted to say. This pandemic is not over. That's the thing, is, like, people left the office, quote unquote, because of the pandemic. When people left the office, the pandemic is worse now. Think about that. So people left the office because of the pandemic. Every metric is worse. Every metric is worse. The contagiousness, worse by like 10 times. The amount of cases, worse by like 20 times. The amount of deaths, worse by like 100,000 times, right? Like, and yet now we're going back in the office. Like, what? Like, every metric is worse. And also, again, commute with cars and gas prices, worse. It's just, I don't know. I'm anti-office, so I just wanted to talk about that one. Springboard off of that. I'm anti-office.